How do we tackle the big questions? How do we save the world? There's so much unemployment, there's so much poverty, there's homelessness, there's famine. What do we do? We're all being called to be generous, to be charitable. That's the first step. But there's many other things that we can do. See, these are issues that are coming out of the collective unconscious. They're old patterns of the earth. And if we heal them, if we work with them now, if we work with them well, it could be an easy birth. I have had situations where all indications spoke of a major catastrophe or cataclysm coming. And I've had whole groups of people working on forgiveness, work on invoking the truth, because the truth means, yeah, this is what's showing, but the truth means there's perfect peace and there's an easy birth. You can use the power of trust. You can use every healing principle, including love, to pour out toward, anything where there's a problem. You can use acceptance. You can use bonding. You can use forgiveness. For instance, if you have, let's say homelessness, you just ask yourself a question like, who is it that I could help that would help the collective problem of homelessness? And whoever pops into your mind, you just pour your love to them. And every time we do something like that, as people come together to contribute to the whole, it can make a difference. There are shamanic techniques. There are spiritual techniques. You could receive the grace to pour into, the economic problem around the world, because it doesn't have to have the economy fail. We could have an easy birth in this situation. So in workshops, sometimes at the beginning of every section, I'll do something with people to use a healing principle, a shamanic principle, or a spiritual principle to help make a difference for the collective. We're at a time where all the shattered places out of the collective, out of the astral and the darkness and the demonic is always coming to stop us from going to the next stage. That can be healed with love and forgiveness. That can be healed with miracles. Miracles is our natural inheritance, but it's been repressed to the deepest area of the unconscious because we're frightened of it. We're frightened of being that great, but it is a natural power. And that heaven backs us up. There's a line from A Course in Miracles, it says, if you knew who walked beside you, you could never be frightened. So it's like to remember you have friends in high places. You can ask for miracles, you can ask for help. The power of prayers, when people are joined together using that power of their mind, when they open their heart to receive. Anything you want with your whole heart, it creates. To use these powers for good. Every time you get frightened, to realize that comes from my attack thoughts. It's not something that happened out here and came into me. It's my fear coming from my mind. And do I want to add to the pollution, or do I want to add to the solution? And I can do that through giving, through forgiveness, through helping. Any problem around, who needs my help? Who could I give to locally that will help things globally? And then, of course, to listen to any guidance about what you personally are called to do about an issue. I know one woman who, became part of the hunger project around the world, and then as she became one of our trainers, it's like to start opening things up in Bangladesh, where she gives workshops there to this one village, and she's introduced micro banking, for the women of the village to start businesses, so that the whole area, not just the village, but this whole area can build up. Sometimes you're called to do something personally, and for you to answer that call is your fulfillment. And you won't be called to do something that you can't do or is not in your best interest also, because it's always mutuality. That's what takes us to this whole new level of interdependence. There's a lot of emergencies going on out there. We can hear the sirens. Let's do something where you can help. Your prayers, your love, your forgiveness, your open-heartedness, your friendship, it helps the whole world. Do your part. It'll make you happy.